In this video, I want to give you a quick demonstration of uploading and downloading files from Oracle Cloud buckets. So we've seen in previous videos and in other blog posts examples of code that you can use to be able to process files individually to your bucket for storage, on the OCI cloud. Now, what I have here is a piece of code, a Python code. It's divided in a couple of different sectors. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is this is kind of the code for parallel upload. And what I have done is I've taken the functions that I had in my previous demonstrations of being able to upload a file and also check to see if a bucket is there. Now, there's been a few little minor modifications to those, but nothing kind of overly on it. The main kind of modification was being able to pull out and just check at an earlier stage whether the bucket actually exists already. Okay, and we can see that kind of code that is processing that there. So in order to do this, the first part is we're going to set up some parameters for our Python code, so we can run this on the command line, and it's going to take in two parameters. One is going to be the bucket name, so the name of the bucket that exists up in our OCI cloud. This needs to exist already, so we have seen examples in other videos and other blog posts about how to do that. So I'm not going to kind of cover that in this example. I'm just going to assume that exists. And then we have the directory where all the files that we want to be able to upload. The next bit of code is going to look at just parsing those kind of parameters, reading them in. And as I've already kind of shown, is we're going to do a quick check to see if our bucket already exists. And if it does, then what we're going to do is we're going to take all the files from our directory and being able to upload all of those. And what we're going to do is we're going to submit each of those file uploads as a separate process. So these will be kind of kicked off and run in parallel. And then we'll be able to kind of do some calculations on how long does it actually take to upload all the files that we have actually seen. So that's the code. So if you go to the blog post, you'll be able to find the code to actually run all of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the command to be able to run that. And if I just go over to my terminal window, paste that in, so we get to see that we're calling Python, we're calling the file that's there. We give it the name of the bucket, which is demo bucket, and then I have some files that I use for different OCI vision related kind of tasks. So we're going to upload those. So I'm going to run that. And we get to see that they're all kind of kicking off in kind of sequence. But if you actually go in and edit the code and put out extra timings, you get to see some of those files will actually start uploading before some of the other ones. So like maybe file 4 will start uploading before file 0. So it's a matter of submitting those processes and letting the OS being able to determine how they actually all happen. In this case, we're able to upload our 13 files in just under 4 seconds, so 3.75 seconds, which is pretty quick to be able to upload all of that across my Wi-Fi up to my OCI cloud and be able to store them there. Now, so that's kind of the uploading of it. Okay, so I have a link in the video description of where you can go to get the code for that and the associated blog post. The other one I want to show is that it's kind of the opposite of that, which is the parallel download. So again, kind of taking the previous blog posts on being able to work with OCI buckets and object storage, of being able to check to see if a bucket exists, being able to download a file and so forth. Okay, so again, you'll be able to get the link in the video description, being able to parse all of that. And in this particular case, what we want to be able to do is we're just processing the data in a slightly different format and a slightly different way. So one of the things I'm going to do is, how many files do we actually have in that object storage so we can actually download, so we get that list. And then for each object in that list, again, we're going to kick off a separate process that's going to download the bucket. So that's going to call the function that's up here, right? Which is going to take the the bucket, the directory, the file name, and we just have the number, sequence number kind of for processing it, and we'll be able to follow it and being able to copy that down. And the code that I'm showing here is exactly the same as the code that I've shown, for kind of just doing it in a more kind of manual kind of way from like a Jupyter notebook. So let's have a look at seeing this running. So if I just go up and just copy the command, and we go to our terminal window, so we just do a clear a window and we paste that in. So it takes exactly the same format of we'll have our file name, so it's slightly different. We give the bucket name and we give the directory that's actually kind of used. And in this case, across my actually rather slow Wi-Fi today, it takes about 4 or just under 4.5 seconds to be able to download those and being able to write those to my file system. And if I go into let me see if I can find that particular directory, and if I can go into it, there it is. We get to see all the files that are listed, and we can actually scroll through all of those different files that we have. And that's the end of the video.